Good afternoon, traders. It's Mark here from the day trading room. The time is 20 to 1 in the afternoon, London time, on Wednesday, 6th of October. We've got the employment report coming out at quarter past 1 London time, and oil numbers at half past 3. But obviously, the big number this week is the non-farm payrolls number, jobs number on Friday. That's what everyone's looking to. So, what happened yesterday? Well, we had a big markup yesterday, huge gap up, and the market pretty much trended up all day. Yeah, we pushed up in the morning, and my premise really, when we've got such a strong day like that, strong open as well, especially when it's near the overnight high, you want to wait for a pullback into the sort of range of the overnight trade, and then look for a buy. But obviously you need some sort of trigger there. Um, as we know, our big levels at the moment are still the 10,800 on the YM and the 10,760. Market opened up pretty much in the middle of those, pushed through the overnight high, then just started to roll down slowly. And at that point, you're just trying to figure out a place to get along, where the risk is limited. I mean, at the end of the day, this could drift all the way down and fill the gap before it starts to push off. So what I did is obviously the 10760 was on my chart, and that's going to be on my chart for a while now. Has been on my chart for a while now, should I say? And so I'm alerted to a buy as we push down to there. But I want to try and get the best possible entry. So I don't really just want to stand in front of it, because it was just dripping down. The buyers could be waiting a little bit longer to step in. And I could get a ten tick better price, or could I'm getting stops at the. So the idea is just to wait really for that buying to come in, and then we'll take it. So I drew this little downtrend line. We popped through the downtrend line. We had one more pullback there. I just hesitated and waited until we'd just pushed back up, and took the long there. Unfortunately, not a lot in it at all. It pushed up. It just couldn't get through that 78 level there. There was a big tape seller. I'll take that off so you can see. Yeah, the big tape seller there. So we had the long. Our stop was obviously just under there. We were looking for a push back up, but it just stuck there right until the data. And then I ended up scaling out most of it here just before that little push down. I was hoping we'd get one more burst through, but we didn't. So that wasn't great, but it was good for 10 ticks. Data came out. We weren't involved in that. Don't like to hold over the data. Pushed up. Market came straight back under that 10,800 level. Tried again. Struggled. But the gift really here was this excuse me, push back to the 78, because we'd seen how key it was all throughout the morning. When we got this push under that formed a tail, it was a lovely place to go long. You go long at 83, 70. I think it hit 77 or 78. It was bang on. You can have a stop a few ticks under. You're basically playing on the fact that that's the tail. It's not going to take out this low, and then it's going to push back up. Didn't really know how far. I mean, the range was pretty tight up until this point. Got our first scales off here. We didn't quite get a 10,800, and got the last batch off here. Um, then we pushed back down, and we proceeded to push all the way up through here. I didn't get involved in any of this, and really it would have been nice to have held a key core position, looking for that trend long, especially as the market was so strong, but it wasn't to be. So yeah, two small trades to start the morning off. Nothing great on those. We just didn't really get the push we wanted. So we're coming up to here. This was a little bull flag we had forming around here. Let me redraw that if I can draw it slightly better. I'm using my mouse. Oh, that's not much better. But anyway, you can see there, classic sort of technical pattern bull flag. But as you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, I like to look for that push into midday New York time, which is 5 o'clock London time. And so when we were loitering around here and we were consolidating, and we still had a good 3/4 of an hour to go, I was looking for a buy. Now this is not a usual setup for me. I prefer to wait for the flush and then fade the noon push. But when it was such a bullish background to it, I didn't really want to get involved in shorts until we started seeing some serious levels taken out, or we saw really, really extreme flush, over the 11,000 Dow or something like that. So what I did is, as we were pushing down here, we were around this level here, and I was looking for that new little push, but I didn't want to just dive in, so I waited till we got a little push back here. We found a little bit of support here, and interestingly, I'll take that off. You can see that was quite significant, really. It was, there was a guy sitting there on the tape, so to me it was worth a go. I only took a small size on it because it's not something that I like to do too often when I really haven't got that much of an entry criteria. It was more a case of, okay, and I was scaling a bit here. I'll probably scale in a little bit more. If we push down far too low, then I'll be out. But then we got that push. My exit criteria was plus 1,000 on the ticks, and we got that here. And I felt quite pleased with myself coming out at the 42 here, 10.842. I thought, great little trade, but then it just pushed on for another 19 or so ticks. But nevertheless, it was a good little trade, slightly different to what I normally do, which is why I took it with a smaller size. But a good read on the market, which is what it's all about. And then that was it. I didn't get involved in any of the rest of it. It was just a grind up day, waiting for a deeper pullback. I mean, if we'd have got a deeper pullback to the VWAP, I'd have been all over it. We didn't get it. It just pretty much held little pullbacks. I'm not up for taking little pullbacks near the end of a trend. I'll take small pullbacks at the beginning of a trend, because you're waiting for everyone to get on board and you're just trying to buy that little dip down. But when you come on towards the end of a trend, the likelihood of a deeper pullback becomes greater. And so, if you're going to look to buy a pullback, you need to really have the discipline to wait for something a little bit deeper that perhaps flushes out a few longs. Then you wait for the buy order to step back in again, and then you can frame your trade a lot better that way. So that was it. So today, it's going to be an interesting day. Usually, after a big heavy trend day, we see oscillations. Obviously, that's not always the case, but it's quite often the case. And if we get a pushback into yesterday's range and we see some buying, then it'll be a buy opportunity for me. Similarly, if we start to push up and just keep plodding up, I still got that 11k target on the Dow in mind. If we can reach there, be interesting to see what happens if we get there. Just going to be cautious of the shorts, but also be aware that it takes time for people to digest what's happened yesterday and the new levels we're at. So be aware that it could be an oscillation day, and we'll see what happens there. Keep an eye out for compiling a two-part video at the moment with regard to high frequency trading, algorithms, bots, black boxes, or whatever you want to call them, how I used to use them to make money, and how you can make money from them in this market environment. The game's changed slightly from when they first came out, but you can still use them to your advantage. So subscribe to my channel so that you get that immediately when it comes out. You can email me, mark at thedaytradingroom.co.uk, and go and visit the blog, www.thedaytradingroom.com. Good trading, guys. Keep the risk managed, and we're back soon with another video.